Hey friends, this might be the second video out today, which is kind of rare for my channel these days. Should be normal in the future, but anyway, it's kind of weird to stream whenever there's a TWAB out because everybody always asks the same questions. I read through it. I'm not going to read it verbatim, not turning this into an audiobook. I'm just going to tell you the things I liked, and I did put that thread on Twitter. So let me quickly bring up my profile here. So this is the TWAB reaction thread. So, oh boy, 3 a.m. What that means is they finally took something I've been asking for since the beginning of the game, which is whenever there is a low population time, it automatically adjusts matchmaking to account for the low population. Because if I'm a high skill player and it's at 3 a.m. and there's not a lot of high skill players, the matchmaking still has to go through the motions of telling me that there are no high skill players on, thus wasting 3 to 5 minutes of my time every single time it has to widen the bands. So at 3 a.m. now, it's just going to automatically widen the bands because it knows it can't find them. So I'm super excited for that. The next thing I'm excited for is that have fun six stacking against each other instead of dunking on solos. So this means six stacks now have to match other six stacks, and I'm super excited for that for both perspectives. As a solo, I hate matching them, and as a team, I hate matching solos. So the fact that I get to look forward to playing other organized groups of players, even casually, that excites me. The next one is future flawless pool removal. This isn't going to happen in Season 19, but it looks like they're starting to solidify the identity a little bit of Trials, and I'm excited with what they do for that moving forward. The big elephant in the room is the ranked playlist, and this one is ranked, where the only goal is to make number bigger. I'll be living in this playlist on main regardless of if I cannot maintain the Ascendant division, which is the biggest rank, and expect voice chat and solo queue. So ranked being added to the game is huge, but it does have one caveat if you pay attention. There is a skill-based matchmaking element of searching and ranked, and before someone knee-jerk reactions to that, in other games that would mean if you're on a higher SBMM, you would be able to climb the ladder faster since you have to play harder games. And if the grind to the top is long enough, there should be some equalization. I think I worded it in a tweet, but just go off on a tangent real quick. Bungie identified the vibes of each playlist. They said, like, Quick Play is pickup games at the gym. Iron Banner is an exhibition playlist at a block party. Trials is a high-stakes pro-am tournament. Ranked is local recreational league. And Private Match is game night with friends. And then I cheekily replied my current vibes on PvP, which is if it's Disjunction, I'm leaving in the casual playlist. Iron Banner, I'm only here for the loot because I don't like any of the game modes besides Rift. Trials of Osiris, somehow it's the most casual playlist, and I think the loss penalty should go away for the casual players, but I also think they should really solidify the identity of it. Ranked play. This is my new home, and I'm concerned about SBMM waiting versus true ranked, but that's only if it goes bad. They have learned their lessons, and I'm confident that they're going to do this right and give you the bonus for having the higher SBMM. And then finally, Private Match. Yo, pull Darcy. And then Scrims, of course, where I can play against a ranked team without affecting my rank. Okay, then the final post is, my rank concerns go away if the climb up the mountain is difficult and long enough that any player achieving Ascendant will inevitably move up in their SBMM bracket at the same time, thus keeping the relative division a truer indication of skill. True indicators of skill are important for analyzing growth and improving at a game. Although carries won't be possible, I could see VOD reviews for the high divisions being very useful content for all. Overall, I'm excited to try again and not feel bad for it. There's still a lot of work to be done in PvP in all aspects: sandbox, infrastructure, and identity. Looking forward to hearing more plans from Bungie. So, that's pretty much the reaction to the TWAB here. And by the way, I do think carries will be possible at the extreme end, but we have to talk about how other gamers approach ranked playlists in other gaming communities. It's often looked down upon if, for example, I played my free-to-play and held an Ascendant spot there, or if somebody boosted, aka carried another player to Ascendant. That's looked down upon in other communities because you're essentially taking away someone else's rank that they might otherwise deserve. I don't know if it's exactly gonna roll out like that in Destiny and how the community is gonna react to it, but we'll play it by ear. I'm just gonna be in here regardless because I want intense games, regardless of if I end up Ascendant or not on my main every single day. Because I mean, I could just fall from it because I feel like playing Warlock today, and Warlock isn't as good in that meta. Overall, though, I'm really, really, really excited. One of the important things that they mention is that there's not really going to be rewards when it comes to maintaining Ascendant. You do get a drop bonus, which is useful, like a multiplier on the Crucible loot or something like that, but it's nothing tangible that lower ranks cannot get. It's not going to be like Not Forgotten. They're also adding the Rose hand cannon in some regard with random rolls. Excited for that. That hand cannon felt really good to shoot. And if every player can access it, it's just going to make it easier to get into the game, which I think is important. One thing I've always wanted to mention here on the record is that SBMM isn't the only thing that makes a casual player stick to the game and become a hardcore, high-skill player. There are other things like having a practice room, a better infrastructure. For example, like a bot playlist where they just play against AI, but in Crucible setting, would be so much more helpful than slogging in these bottom ranks when they could just stick at the bot battleground for a little bit or go to the practice room and learn about the game in an environment that won't stress them. Like, that could be more important, and I think it's worth mentioning on this kind of video. Also worth mentioning, assuming that these top 3 ranks are going to be interesting to watch games from, I'm down to do VOD reviews in the future. Maybe bona fide coaching in game too. Even if I don't maintain Ascendant, right? You don't have to be the best at the game to be the best coach or the best teacher. So I am totally down to coach teams and do VOD reviews officially in the future if there is demand for that. And obviously this is all assuming that the future sandbox is fun to play and that we're not in a tier 0 meta, as the Yu-Gi-Oh players would say, where the exact same strategy and loadout is prevalent at Ascendant, and there is no real room to deviate and outskill your opponent. So, we will see. I hope I condensed a lot of this TWAB into just my opinions here, because I want to play some Iron Banner. I just made an Age Receptor build and want to rip with it. I was playing that a lot yesterday. Alright, see y'all in the next one. Thanks for checking out the video.